We're ready.
We're ready.
For another not Doc Jam.
Yeah. We're going true crime adjacent.
We are, which is kind of cool, right? Like,
I
it's
think
fun.
So.
And there were a couple of people who commented that were like, we'd love your take on other not necessarily true crime things. So asking you to receive. And you'll be sorry, actually.
You might.
Sorry.
Yeah. Let me actually, because you sent it to me. So let me say thank you to Sarah Centino.
You asked for this, girl. Just remember that.
Yeah, please remember that. I didn't mean to point at you. I'm sorry.
We did. You.
Asked for it. Yeah.
You asked for this.
Because it's about to get wild because we're about to talk about some shit.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about secret lives of Mormon wives.
I tried to Google that earlier, and I got the wives and the lives transposed
backwards
more than once, and it was very difficult for me.
This whole show was difficult for me. What a mess. Okay, so let's start from the top. How did we get here? Because you look at this show and you're like, how the hell did these girls get a reality show?
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you. They started Mom Talk on TikTok.
Also, can we please talk about, I know you just started, but can we please talk about the fact that this girl is claiming to have created Mom Talk?
Yes, yeah.
Which is, I'm not a youngin'.
Mm-hmm.
But I know of like book talk and other talks.
Yeah.
So that's just a general category. It's a hashtag.
Yes.
You did not create that.
Well,
you frequently use the hashtag.
Yeah.
But you are not Mom Talk.
Well, they were. They think they are.
Yeah.
That girl bossed their way into it. I don't know.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So it was this group of Mormon wives who they say they wanted to change the stigma around being a trad wife, basically. Do you know what a trad wife is?
I do.
Okay.
I've heard of it.
Yeah. So it's basically just traditional wife. So think 1950s, everyone was doing Klonopin and getting all the shit done, and moms were responsible for everything. They're trying to bring that back.
Yes.
Or at least like I don't want to blanket statement the Mormon church, but like they like a trad wife, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that. If that's you and that's what you want for your life.
If that's your choice.
If that's your choice, I support you. Mm-hmm. If it's not your choice and you're forced into that, I don't support that for you, and I'm so sorry. Anyway, so they're like, we want to change the stigma around Mormon wives, I guess. Mm-hmm. So they were like, we know what we'll do. We'll start a TikTok. And so basically, I think it just started out as like 4 of them, and they started doing TikToks together. And then eventually, like, other people came into it, blah, 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 whatever. Well, they get big. They blow up on TikTok. Like, they're huge on TikTok.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, one of them is getting divorced. Her name's Taylor. And she was like one of the main, I would say the main mom on Mom Talk.
Yeah.
Regardless of what Whitney says. Shout out Whitney.
Whitney.
Just kidding. We hate you.
Yeah.
Lovingly. Sort of.
Kind of.
Anyway. Okay. So comes out Taylor's getting divorced. And so everybody's giving Taylor shit for getting divorced because, like, they're Mormon. They don't get divorced. That's not what they do. Blah, blah, blah. And she's like, let me tell you why I'm getting divorced.
Yeah.
And so she comes out and on a TikTok live, maybe.
And she has like 3 million followers at this point.
Yeah, like it's big.
It's big.
It's big.
Everybody knows.
And she comes out and says, I'm getting divorced because I cheated on my husband, but we were in a soft swinging group of other Mormons. Now, if you were thinking to yourself, what is soft swinging? Excellent question. I would love to tell you. It's when you do everything but penetration. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And they were all cool with it. Allegedly, they were all cool with it.
But there were like rules around the soft swinging. So like, well, I guess you had to be in the same room as your spouse.
Oh.
So they knew about it? Or that's when penetration could happen, maybe.
Oh. I thought there was no penetration.
Well, that's
I mean, there
Taylor
was, obviously.
Messed up, yeah. Because
well, but is it because she was penetrated in a separate room?
Correct.
Okay.
She violated the rules of the thing, and her husband wasn't there. I'm assuming jacking it.
Okay.
So she took away
Oh, so like
jacket.
we can watch and we're fine as long as we're watching.
Correct. That's how I understand it.
Okay. Well, listen, no kink shaming here. Whatever you want to do, whatever feels right for you.
Sure.
Obviously, it didn't feel right in the end, and they got divorced.
Yeah.
And it was this big TikTok scandal. Then Taylor goes on and starts dating this new guy. His name is Dakota. And this is like not long after the scandal breaks and like the divorce. Like all of this happens like pretty close proximity. And then Taylor gets arrested for domestic violence for getting in a fight with Dakota, which you actually see on the show. Well, you don't see the fight.
No.
But you
hear a lot of
you
stuff.
hear it and you see the outcome of it.
Yeah. And apparently she threw... So at this point, Dakota is trying to live sober. It seems.
So he says, yes.
So he says.
So he's an addict. That's what we learned. And he's in recovery. And like, we love that. I love your sobriety journey for you.
Yeah.
I don't like Dakota based on this show.
Oh, no.
He's, addiction aside,
emotionally,
that
abusive.
man is horrific.
He's awful. And they're at dinner one night and she's like, I'm gonna drink tonight. And he's like, I don't think we should do that. And she's like, I'm gonna drink tonight. I don't care, whatever. So then she gets arrested.
Part of me wonders if he didn't know that she was drunk and gaslight her into that situation to like create some drama. Anyway.
You keep talking. I'm going to look this up.
You Google it. So, yeah. So, Taylor is like our main girly pop on this show. Like, she's the face of Mom Talk. And then we get to meet our villain of the show, who, honestly, she probably gets a bad edit. But also, even if they gave her a good edit, I don't think I would like her still. And that is our girl, Whitney.
My name is Whitney Levitt. I am from Happy Valley, Utah.
And what we learn about Whitney is that after the scandal has broken, she moves with her husband to Hawaii. Her husband and 2 kids, 1 kid. I can't remember. But
I think they have 2 kids.
I think they've got 2 kids. So she comes back and she's like, there's more to the story about why we moved away.
Oh my gosh. So
I have big feelings about this.
Yeah.
So as the show is coming on, right, as the show is starting, Whitney and her husband, whose name I don't remember, Jake? No. Connor. They're moving back to Salt Lake City from Hawaii. And you're like, this is weird that you moved randomly to Hawaii for 2 months. Like, that's hella expensive for 2 months of your life.
These people have more money than sense.
Well, that's true.
I mean,
It's
but yeah.
insane. So they come back and you find out that at the same time that this Mom Talk scandal, this soft swinging scandal was breaking, Whitney finds out that her husband has been on Tinder. And she finds that out, I believe, from somebody else, and then confronts Connor. And he ends up confessing, like, I've been on Tinder, blah, blah, blah. I made a poor choice. I'm addicted to porn, blah, blah, blah. Whatever. She decides to stick by her man. Good on you, girl, I guess. I will say, I don't think he was on Tinder. Maybe he was.
I
think he was on maybe an app that sounds like Tinder, but is for same-sex relationships, because I think that man's gay.
100%.
100%.
Like, he came on the screen and I was like,
Oh, I know. The second I saw him, I was like, that man's gay.
and
And that's fine.
I don't think it was Tinder.
I don't think so either.
But nobody, I mean, I guess, I don't know. Everybody acts like, yeah, Connor was on Tinder. Like, they're all talking about it. And I'm like,
Okay, but the church hides a lot of things. So if
That's
they all
true.
just agreed to say that it was Tinder, then
with a straight face.
with a straight face,
Like, I'm like, we all know what we're talking about here, right?
we know.
Yeah.
So that's Whitney. Oh, and she finds out that not only has he been on Tinder, he's been on Tinder for basically the entire duration of their relationship.
Whoopsies.
But allegedly, he never went on any dates.
No, he just like talked to people.
Yeah, but he's been doing this
never met up
for
with them.
years. Years.
Yeah. But he never met up with them. And Bill Clinton did not inhale, and he did not have sex with that woman.
I mean, well,
If you say it, it's true.
listen, if you say it enough times, eventually somebody will believe it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's Whitney.
Yeah.
And then there's Jesse, who owns Jizz Hair Extensions.
At a billboard, people are talking about how they think it says jizz.
She does hair. She has a hair salon. Very, very successful hair extension company, right? And she's like, everyone thinks that my hair salon is called Jizz Hair or something like that. And she's like, I don't know why. My billboard clearly says Jay-Z Hair. And I was like, yeah, girl, that says jizz.
It's Jizz Hair. But
Yeah.
I don't think in Mormon you're allowed to say jizz.
Well, they do a lot of it. I mean, have you seen how many kids I have?
I know, but you can't say it.
Okay. Well, she doesn't want her
100%
hair to be associated with jizz, but it
Big
is.
fat is.
Yeah, well, and especially when you go on TV and you just straight up say, like, don't let the joke wrote itself. Now everyone's gonna call it that.
Jizz, exactly. Like now you made it the only thing that people are gonna call it.
Yeah.
Also, I'm so sorry, but it says she's 31 years old.
Yeah. Okay. So what I love about this show is that every time someone pops up on the screen, number one, they tell me their name because I forget because they all look the
Oh
same.
my God, they look exactly the same.
And number two, they tell me how old they are because I need to constantly be reminded that these are children that we're talking about.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
They're all 31 or younger. Poor little Layla, she's 22 and she's got 2 kids and she's already been divorced.
Yes. And I forget the name of the one. I'm so sorry, but she's maybe like 23 now.
Is this Jen Affleck?
Maybe.
Ben Affleck's second cousin?
She's the one. Oh God. We'll get to him.
We'll get to that.
She's the one who, the girl that I'm thinking of, it might be Jen. She's the one that has like 3 or 4 kids. She's like 23 years old now. She got pregnant when she was like 16, but her.
Michaela.
Okay.
Are you talking about the girl that's got like, she's got health issues and so like her eyes look really red sometimes?
It
She's like
might
really, really
be-
tiny, thin,
Yeah.
blonde hair.
I forget exactly which girl it is, but I know that she's very young, like 23.
Yeah, I think that's Michaela.
She got pregnant when she was 16 and her husband was like 25, 26, maybe
Yeah.
even older at that time.
Well, Layla.
What are we doing?
Layla's got 2 kids. She's just now 22.
Yeah.
She was a minor, I believe, when they got married.
100%.
Like,
What's happening? And we're
I don't know.
we're just okay with this. Is Utah a different country? Is that what's happening?
I think Salt Lake City is, yeah.
Yeah, because that's the only thing I can think of. Like in Friends, when Joey's gonna go to Vermont, and he's like, I gotta get all my money and switch it over to Vermont money. Like,
Yeah.
what?
I mean, you basically do. Yeah.
Can you just you can just marry minors in Utah?
Yeah, you can. Everything about these men is insane. Everything about these women is insane. But I feel like the insanity that is the women comes from like growing up in a very patriarchal, conditioned society of these are our beliefs. This is how we act. This is what women are supposed to do. Like it is very gender role, very like.
Yeah. You don't ask questions.
Yeah.
You take everything that is given to you by a man.
You take it.
Like, I'm sorry, but you're so many not any of the things enough
Yeah.
to talk to me that way. Like, are you kidding
Yeah.
me?
And I think a lot more than Connor when we're looking at the men. I think a lot of them have some not straight tendencies that they're suppressing.
Well, apparently in these soft swinging situations, like fucking anything goes.
Oh.
Like, as long as your spouse knows about it and
Okay.
you know, whatever. I think everybody's doing everybody. I think. I don't know.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but I also know that there's a big, like, all of the other mom talk moms were super pissed at Taylor for talking about the soft swinging because they tried to say it on the show that, like, it implied that they were also involved, but
Okay, so I got my hair done today. Shout out Hunter at the Walden.
it looks beautiful.
Thank you. He interviewed Jesse
Yes.
on his podcast
Better Jizz hair extensions.
Better Jizz hair extensions. He interviewed her for his podcast, Break Room Banter, which is it's him and another hairstylist. So they talk about hair. So obviously it makes sense that she would come on, right? But he said that they weren't all involved. That it was Taylor and another one of Taylor's friends who's not on the show. And so like we don't know her.
Okay.
But that they weren't actually involved.
So they are mad at her for making it sound like and not clarifying that they were not. Okay.
Yeah.
That was the part I didn't get. I didn't understand if it was like she just never clarified or
I don't
if they
think she
were involved and they
clarified.
didn't want to be outed. But I feel like she said something like we were all doing it, or it was something that implied a group.
Gotcha.
That she's obviously part of this group, and so people would
So the
take
implication
it
was like, all of these people. But I don't think it was.
And apparently Dakota was one of the husbands of somebody else.
Wait, Dakota was married?
That's what I could be very wrong here.
Dakota has crazy eyes.
He's very crazy.
Like,
eyes.
you look at him and he's just like, whoosh.
Yeah.
Like in the new guy.
Yeah. Crazy eyes.
He's got wild eyes.
He really does. And he's very like flies off the handle.
Yeah.
And then he's like,
I'm so sorry,
Sorry,
actually.
whoopsies, not going to happen again.
Yeah. Well, and then that makes me think about Macy, who is Taylor's friend, who hates Dakota.
She hates
She's not a fan.
No.
She doesn't like him.
No.
Because he's awful. And I think she's like the only person that sees that.
Taylor says at one point that Macy's really the only one that she's confided a lot of that stuff in, because she brings up something to Dakota one day about...
Oh, yeah. And she's like, I don't confide in a lot of people.
Yeah.
And he was like, not even me.
Yeah, he gets, of course, he gets weird about it. He gets jealous about it and everything. And he's like, I don't like her. She's just like drama. She's just like, I forget the word he used, but he said, basically, that she's just like crazy and for no reason she hates him and all this kind of stuff. It could not possibly be anything that you've done.
It couldn't be the fact that you're insane.
No, couldn't be.
Yeah.
Whitney, I'm sorry, girl, but you suck. You just do.
So bad.
You suck.
So bad.
If there were any redeeming qualities about her now, like you said, it could be a bad edit. This is edited content.
It could be bad, yep.
Could.
I mean, it's certainly not good.
However, she's also the one, and I saw this going around a while back, but I didn't know who she was. I didn't know anything about Mom talking, like whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But she's the one who, while her child is in the ICU, she's the one making a TikTok video next to her child in the ICU.
Why
He's
was her
the
kid
little
in the
bassinet.
ICU?
He had a really, really, really bad case of RSV.
Oh my gosh.
They had to rush him to the hospital. So she talks about this in a later episode, and she's like, Connor, rushed him to the ER. He couldn't breathe. All this stuff. He was in the hospital. It was a really difficult time. And so I just thought, let's just do something fun. And she makes a f***ing TikTok. Her son, the bassinet is right here, and she's like just dancing next to, like doing a dance routine.
Okay.
Winnie, you did that to yourself.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
I mean, I get like, okay, I want to do something fun. Like, at least leave the room.
If you want to do something fun while your child is in the ICU, do a Sudoku.
Ooh, I do love Sudoku. It's my favorite airplane activity.
Yeah. It's totally ICU appropriate.
Yeah.
Like, but she doesn't want to stop making videos because she wants, like, that's the other thing I can't stand about this show is they're all talking about, and they're like, I just want our relationship to be like it used to be. I just want to, like, make videos with you again. I just want to make videos again. And it's like,
yeah.
do you hear yourself? I mean...
Okay, so let's keep in mind that these girls range in age from 22 to 31.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to be mean, but like they're not, per the edit, the smartest people I've ever encountered.
No.
So the fact that they can make millions of dollars blows my mind.
I don't watch their videos. I
don't
follow
either.
them. Is all they're doing just fucking dances?
Yeah, and they got a lot of brand deals from it.
And also,
Well, that's not all they're doing. They're doing each other's husbands too.
Well, true.
Yeah.
Are you okay? So they're removing the stigma from being a Mormon wife and patriarchy and Mormonism and all these things by twerking on the internet.
Yes. Yes, that would be correct.
I fail to see how that. I mean, maybe it's liberating. Why are the husbands mad about that?
Well, I think some of the husbands are not happy about it.
Oh, okay.
But they are the breadwinners in their households. And so they've flipped the patriarchy on its head. And now they're like, you'll do what I say because I make more money than you.
I think that's illegal in Utah. You cannot be a woman and make more money than your husband.
Probably.
In Salt Lake City,
yeah.
I mean. In the country of Salt Lake City.
In the country of Salt Lake City, you are correct.
Yeah.
It's a no man's land over there. Actually, it's a no woman's land over there. It's man's only land.
Yeah.
It's like the He-Man Woman Haters Club.
Yes.
It's exactly
It really
like
is.
that.
There's also an episode where the girls go to Vegas,
Oh, I haven't made it that far, but I have heard about it.
which feels scandalous.
Yeah. And then Zach gets mad at them for going, even that because they were going to go to a strip show, right? Or like a
Chippendales.
Okay.
Yeah. And his wife didn't even go into the show.
Yeah, but
She
he gets
stayed
pissed
out.
at her,
He's
right?
still mad
But
at
he
her.
sat in the casino the whole time. So it's not like he was going to be hanging out with her.
No, and I'm positive he didn't win any money.
Can we just talk about Chippendales for a minute? I would be mortified. I would be so embarrassed. I would have the secondhand embarrassment for me personally would be through the roof. I couldn't handle it.
I went to, so back in the day,
Oh.
before, I didn't go to a Chippendale show.
Oh.
I went to a sex toy party because, like the Tupperware parties, but for sex toys.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that
I think they
anymore.
call them surprise parties now.
Yeah, because now you can just order it online, but then you had to go to the catalog, go to the party and all this stuff, whatever. So one of my friends was having one for a birthday party. It was at the Ag Center.
Oh,
It was a
with
whole
the
ordeal.
livestock and everything.
So we're at this long table, and there's a lot of people there. And so they're passing around the dildos and whatever. And then this loud music comes on.
Oh, God.
And my friend and I are like, oh my God, what the fuck? And this guy comes in and he starts stripping.
No.
And we're like, Jesus.
Nope.
Because there's nothing to separate us. There's no stage. He's just there. And he starts going down the line of the table. And so we're at this end. And he's coming down this way. And every chair he stops at for a second. And he pulls the chair out and he grinds on them or he pulls their hair.
Oh, no.
And we look at each other and without saying any words, we were and we got up and we ran and we left and they were
Can I tell you,
come back.
I would crawl under that table so fast.
We ran to her car and we peeled the fuck out of that gravel parking lot as fast as
So
we
you
could.
didn't even get your vibrator?
No.
Oh, that's
I
disappointing.
didn't have any money.
Couldn't afford to be there anyway, and this is my perfect
Exactly.
excuse to get out.
I was yeah.
I would be
no.
mortified. I would die.
It
And
was-
the ones where they pull you up on stage, I would pass away. You would see my spirit visibly leave my body.
We just,
I would panic.
I have never run that fast. It dropped everything. Go. Yeah, they go to Vegas. The dudes get mad. Dakota goes too, though. Because they don't trust the girls.
We don't trust the girls. Why?
Why? And isn't Taylor's still pregnant at this point?
Yeah.
She's very pregnant.
Yeah.
But that's what I didn't understand. So why between the first and second episode, the first episode she just found out she's pregnant.
Yeah.
Possibly. And then
She
the
has a
next
miscarriage.
episode. Yeah.
And that's
so
why
then-
Whitney's mad at her. Because Whitney tells
Oh,
her,
that's
like,
right.
Connor's been cheating or not cheating, but that's why we left. And at the same time, Taylor's like, oh, that's awful. Also, guys, I think I'm having a miscarriage. Which, to be fair, their whole group of friends is there. And, they're just talking about things that are going on in their lives because they've been separated for so long, right? Since this whole scandal. So, to me, I didn't think it was, anything crazy.
No.
But Whitney's like, I'm not talking to Taylor anymore because she tried to steal my moment.
What the actual Taylor? What the hell are you doing?
Uh-huh. I just finished talking about something that was so traumatic for me, and then she tells something traumatic for her.
Yeah.
Like, and also, all right, your husband being on Tinder for your whole marriage, that sucks.
Yeah, that's not great, for sure.
I think a miscarriage still might trump it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, be there for your friend. Like,
Yeah.
Whitney is very
Mean girl. She's a mean girl.
totally, and she acts like, oh, I'm just such a good girl, and I'm just so kind of like Elsie was in.
Oh, but I loved Elsie in the Hills. But then I decided I liked what was her other friend? She was real tall, long blonde hair. Whitney. I do like that Whitney.
Yeah. Yeah, Elsie was very like, I'm just such a good girl. I never do anything wrong.
Yeah.
I'm just naive. Oh, I didn't know that. But there was a lot of calculation there, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, also I get it. It's like not like real
It was
life,
scripted,
but yeah.
which I refuse to believe, but okay.
Yeah, so come for us, we're millennials.
Yeah.
That was the first like for real reality show.
Yeah.
Other than The Real World, of course.
Oh, I loved The Real World.
Yeah. But like Whitney feels very like, oh, but I'm such a good girl and I wouldn't do that, and but she's so fucking two-faced, like behind everybody's back,
she is.
starting stuff with everybody.
Well, and then like by the end, she's wondering why nobody wants to hang out with her. Like, girl, you're awful.
Yeah, and like she did up. There was one episode where she leaves the group chat. It's a whole thing.
Oh yeah, and then she gets mad that
And
no
then
one.
she gets mad. So she leaves the group chat and she's like, I don't even care. I'm leaving the group chat because I just need to take care of me. I need to focus on my family. I need to focus on my husband. And like, I don't even want to be involved with that anymore. And then she's like,
You guys
what
didn't
the
include
fuck?
me.
Nobody even called to check on me. Nobody even called to ask me why I left. Like,
She's very attention seeking.
very.
And she's like that friend or that person in your life who is like, well, you hurt my feelings and I'm not going to talk to you about it. I'm just going to storm out. And then they expect you to come to them to be like, oh my God, what happened? Like,
I'm so
are you
sorry.
okay? I'm so
Yeah.
sorry. Another thing I hate about these Mormon moms is most of them have children and still have incredible bodies.
What the?
Listen, could my body be better if I ate better and worked out? Yeah, it could, but that's hard and I don't want to. I want the results. I don't want the action, you know?
Why should I have to do that?
I feel like I should be given something.
Yeah.
Something should come easy for me.
Yeah. It's not fair.
It's not fair at all because my husband thinks about drinking water and he loses like 20 pounds immediately. I think about drinking more water, and I'll gain like 3 pounds of additional water weight.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my husband was like, I think I'm going to like not eat as many. I'm going to watch my carbs for like a week and see what happens. He lost 9 pounds. It might have been more than a week, but it was in a short amount of time. And I was
If you want to bury his body somewhere, let me know. Because that is criminal.
It's not fair.
No.
And he'll like.
It feels manipulative.
Uh-huh.
Is he emotionally abusive to you right now? That's what it feels like.
Obviously. He continues to lose weight.
The audacity.
In front of me. Yeah.
Oh.
To my face.
How dare he?
I'm like, stop doing that. And he's like, I didn't. I was gonna. I'm like, I've been trying to lose just a couple pounds for decades.
And I was going to say 10 years. 10 years I've been trying.
Like, even with a really bad stomach virus, I'm like, oh, thank God, I'll at least lose 5 pounds.
Nope.
Nothing. No change.
Gained 3, actually.
Uh-huh. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Not fair.
you know what else isn't fair? That we subjected ourselves to the secret lives of Mormon wives. And we'll do it again when it comes back for a new season.
Yes, we will. Because
Yeah.
things will be said and we need to know what they are.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's just too good of a train wreck.
It really is. An abomination, apparently.
An abomination of a dumpster fire of a train wreck.
Yeah. So if you're watching it, we'll pray for you.
Yeah, so that's it.
That's it.
Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
Yeah.
And was it Sarah that requested that? I think you said Sarah.
Okay, I think so.
This is all your fault, girl.
Yeah.
It's on you. You
It's
did
on
this.
you.
You did this to us. And we did it to you.
We did. We did it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a fun watch party.
Yeah.
Catch you next time.
Catch you next time.
We'll talk about something else.
Bye.
Bye.